Hey there, YouTube! Speedrobo here, and welcome to another episode of Exploring Card Game Design. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the different ways games manage power creep. There's a whole slew of ways that games handle power creep. Magic the Gathering uses set rotation in multiple formats to try and keep the game fresh and balanced. While this does give multiple play options to longtime players, all of the formats can be confusing for newer players. They have to figure out what format they want to play, the rules of that format, and make sure that the folks in their play area play that format too, and learn the cards legal in the format, all while trying to keep the base rules of the game straight. The set rotation can be frustrating too. If a player invests in one set, then that set gets rotated out. It can be very annoying to be unable to use a lot of that player's collection. This is less of a problem for established players, as they have a larger card pool to begin with, but can be very irritating for newer players. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a banned and restricted list to prevent problem cards from being used in games. The issue with the large banned and restricted lists is that it's up to the players to keep track of what is and isn't legal. The banned list changes frequently, and it can be hard to keep track of what is rotating in and out of restriction. The benefit of this system is that it is able to instantly remove cards that end up above curve or start causing problem combos. Cardfight Vanguard takes a hands-off approach. While the game does have a restricted list, no cards are banned, just restricted. Only restricting the cards to one copy in Cardfight is pretty ineffective with the massive amount of search options available. The list is also very short, updated rarely, and the only real function the restriction list has is preventing infinite combos. All of these factors results in a hands-off feeling from Bushiroad. The good thing about this system is that it's much easier for players to follow over the other two options. While the restriction list it doesn't do a very good job of cutting back on power creep or problem cards, it does make it easier for new players to jump right in. At first glance, Buddyfight seems even more hands-off and uncaring than Cardfight. Buddyfight has no restriction or ban list, no set rotation, and just one format. However, Buddyfight handles power creep in a very interesting way. The card design team for Buddyfight creates cards and archetypes designed to bring the power curve back down. For example, let's look at Dungeon World dual items Flash Lance Blitz Tiger and Savage Lance Eisen Tiger. These cards owned the meta and the tournament scene when they came out. Dual Item Dungeon took tournaments left and right in 2015, and still had a strong showing in 2016. The reason these cards were so strong is that items are far more durable than monsters, so having two different items with good stats that can attack solo or work in unison was crazy powerful. How did Bushiroad's Buddyfight team respond to this? With two primary things: traps and the new dual items. Let's talk about traps first. Traps were a new attribute for Dungeon World that got released in Triple D. All monsters with the trap attribute also have the adventurer attribute. This means that all of the old adventurer support that was used in Blitz and Eisen can be used in traps. This means that old cards are not scorned by this new deck archetype. Just making a new monster attribute won't solve the problem, as items are the base of the issue. That's why a trap-specific item was released as well. This new item competes for item space with Blitz and Eisen and discourages their use. However, the big fix to Blitz and Eisen came in the form of Wind-Scaled Spear Escamel and Thunder Beast Spear Bestia. In almost every situation, Escamel and Bestia are worse than Blitz and Eisen. Escamel and Bestia must link attack to get their bonuses, while Blitz and Eisen can attack solo. One of the few matchups where Escamel and Bestia are superior to Blitz and Eisen is in the mirror match. If a Blitz and Eisen player fights an Escamel and Bestia player, Blitz and Eisen will almost always lose, as Bestia has the ability to remove Blitz and Eisen from play. This fact alone encourages players to use items that are, for the most part, inferior to the problem cards just to not lose the mirror match. This system of controlling power creep can be seen in other examples in Buddyfight. When 5th Omni was getting a bit too powerful, Sundragon was introduced with powerful field control options. Dangerous Cradle was looking kind of dangerous, so mummies were brought in with a new item to compete for item space. While Buddyfight takes an admirable stance to try and control power creep with card design, this method has its flaws. Every time a new card is made, all other cards must be taken into account to make sure the new card will not break the game. This gets very tiring after a while to try and design new cards while at the same time creating cards in such a way to keep the power curve in line. Odds are, it can't last forever. I expect Buddyfight to establish some kind of restricted list in late 2017 or early 2018. I wrote the first draft of this video before XBT01 was released for Buddyfight. I've seen that a lot of people are concerned about power creep in regards to the new support from the set. Interestingly enough, Bushiroad implied that the new cards were built to counter Zwei. While I do think that certain cards of the new set are power creep, I'm looking forward to seeing where the game goes. I've been Speedrobo, and I hope you've enjoyed exploring card game design with me. If you have any questions or topics for future episodes, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you later.